Keep it locked with your boy on the ones and twos. Going in on the wheels of steel.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball. That's the truth.
Snaring hard kick. This is it. The cocaine and the crack.
They all sound the same to me.
There's a war going on outside. No man is safe from.
Vegas scoreboard with Brainfo. That's how I'm living.
That's how we do it. That's just the way it is.
That's the reason why I came to you.
Drink and women and money.
Good morning, Las Vegas. All of my sports bettors around the world this 4th of July weekend. Thank you for tuning in to the Boss of the Big Board. You're rocking with me here, Vegas Scoreboard Express, live on 107.1 FM, AM 1400 here in Las Vegas. Got my main man, Ron, Third Down Best Bets on the line with me. Ron, want to make sure you're there this morning. Happy 4th weekend to you. Perfect. Again, today, guys, got a lot for you. Going to be jumping into the NBA free agency. We talked about it during the season. Dame Lillard, it's time for him to get out of Portland. He finally put in his pink slip. We're going to be talking about it. Me and Ron are going to be breaking it down with you when we come back from the short commercial break. And you guys already know what time it is. It is Baseball Sunday. Got my main man, Scotty Beam 'em Up Webb from MLBDaily.com and the East Coast Sports Investors, giving you the picks that are going to put the cash in your pocket. Also want to give a shout out to my main man, Pop DiBiase over at Prime Wave Media. You guys definitely need to check him out on Twitter and Instagram at Pop DiBiase, Prime Wave MG _ something like that. But the guy was giving out grease yesterday in his baseball picks. 3-1, gave out a 4-pick card exclusive. And we were able to put some cash in our pocket. So you guys definitely going to want to stay tuned for that. So when we get back, going to be dropping the grease for you, getting you set up for this Sunday. You guys are going to enjoy the show. And we're going to put some cash in your pocket. So keep it locked here on KSHP AM 1400 VSX Digital Sports Network. I'm your host and boss of the Big Board, JP the Ticket. Let's get some money.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball. JP the Ticket. Vegas Scoreboard Express. Giving you that grease.
This football season, stay in the game with Fubo TV. Over 100 live channels, including NFL Network, NBA TV, and FS1. Don't miss any of the action. Get 7 days free on us at VegasScoreboardExpress.com. Don't get cabled. Get Fubo TV.
You're tuned into the VSX Digital Sports Network.
You heard it here first. Another exclusive track.
Right now.
The DJ keeping the party going. The DJ keeping the party going all night long.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball. JP the Ticket.
Back on the line with you, JP the Ticket here, Las Vegas. And all my sports bettors around the world, it's time to get into the grease and get the money. Rocking with us here, 107.1 FM, KSHP, AM 1400, VSX Digital Sports Network. Check us out on our website at VegasScoreboardExpress.com. And for all you local businesses out there wanting some sports advertising and to get involved in this big business that we're putting together, go to VSXDigitalSportsNetwork.com and we can hook you up with that. So back on the line with me, my main man, Ron, Third Down Best Bets. Carpinteria, California's finest. Follow him on Instagram at RaiderHawk1. But we were talking about this in the pregame. NBA, that's what the fans want to hear. Shout out to all the fans providing feedback and listening. Thank you so much for your support. Be sure to follow us on your favorite podcast app. We are everywhere. iHeart, Spotify, Apple Podcast, you name it. But the big story in NBA free agency, we talked about this guy last year. He was balling in obscurity for years. Finally, he put in his pink slip. Damian Lillard has requested a trade from the Sports basically doldrums of Portland.
That was very gentle how you put that.
I mean, that was like, they don't really have anything up there. The Trailblazers have been a team that has been bottom feeding for quite some time. But Damian Lillard, he's been their bright spot. One of the best players in the game today, still playing the way they used to play back in the 90s and 2000s. The issue that he has, though, is that, again, he's playing in a city that just really has a lot of problems right now. And when it comes to professional basketball, they haven't won anything. So when you talk about destinations for Damian Lillard, there has been a lot of reports. Again, we mentioned this on Vegas Scoreboard Express during the NBA playoffs that Damian Lillard might end up in Miami with the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat have a ton of money, cap space to get it done. They've even got a few trade baits to get it done. I think they traded over Max Strus somewhere to make some room, additional room. Additional room for Lillard. So if they give Lillard a max deal, do you think that Miami, right now, if you take a look at these betting lines, again, being brought to you by BetUS, go over to BetUS.com and all of your legal jurisdictions. Use offer code VSX125. I'm giving you a 125% bonus on your initial deposit. Right now, rotation number in the futures for the NBA Finals, NBA Champion 2024 Miami Heat, rotation number 1007 plus 1,000 on the money line. That's a good value. They got to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. They made it to the NBA Finals, but were unfortunately beat by the Nuggets. Do you think that a player as dynamic as Damian Lillard could put them over the hump, and that might be a futures bet that you want to take today? Go ahead.
Absolutely. He's I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say he's a top 5 player from what I saw this year still. He was really good this year. He's a game changer. He's a game taker over. He's a guy where if you give him a little straight elbow, you get him mad, he's going to slap 40 on you.
Yeah, I'm telling you. He plays good defense as well. Great defensive player. And I think with the intensity, a lot of people, give me crap about this, but I tell them that the Eastern Conference is just not as good. They've had trouble over the years. LeBron even went back to the Western Conference. So when you talk about star power and difficulty of play, the Western Conference has really been the premier conference in the NBA. And Damian Lillard, if he does come to the Eastern Conference, should also be possibly in the MVP candidate talk. Because
absolutely,
if you look at it from the greater state of the NBA, he's one of these guys who's been playing in obscurity. Portland has not been a primetime basketball team for quite some time. They're not getting primetime billing, but he's a primetime player. So if he goes to the Miami Heat, major market city, the opportunity for the Miami Heat, again, that rotation number 1007, the Miami Heat. Gotta love that lucky number 7. I think it's a value ticket that you can take early. Just throw a unit on it. Throw $100 on it and let it go. Because if he is able to get traded down to the Miami Heat, I think working with Pat Riley, Jimmy Butler, having a quality backcourt. If you had Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and Damian Lillard, you're guaranteed to get some wins in your pocket. Now let's talk a little bit about some of the other possible locations for him. Now this guy, Damian Lillard, he was selected to the NBA's 75th anniversary team. I mean, he's a Hall of Famer, no doubt. Hall of Famer. He's coming off of the season, like you mentioned last year, he's top 5 player, averaged 32 points a game for the Blazers, 7-time All-Star selection, but he's never been close to a title, and he's been in the league for 11 seasons. 11 seasons. So the Portland Trail Blazers are retaining Jeremy Grant. Gave him 5 years, $160 million. Again, Jeremy Grant on a milk carton. Hasn't really done too much. Other locations for Damian Lillard. That is the point that we're making today. Other than the Miami Heat, where could you see him possibly going and being effective? Again, me being a Knicks fan, would love to see him go to the Knicks, but I don't want to see the end of his career get destroyed by Thibodeau. You know Thibodeau would coach these guys right into the bottom of the barrel. So we don't want to deal with that. But other than Miami, where do you think that Damian could go? Go ahead.
I think Philadelphia would be a really interesting situation to play with Joel Embiid.
No.
The Beard is looking for a place to go, and the Beard really made Philly's management not happy. So banishing him to Portland and getting a player like Damian Lillard, they throw in Tyrone Maxey in the deal. You had a couple first-round picks.
From a business perspective, that sounds good.
It could get very interesting because Harden's not going to stay with the Sixers. He opted in, and they're exploring trades everywhere. So, and the Knicks would be a really good thing for New York, but there's a lot of issues there. Thibodeau and being a Dallas fan, Jalen Brunson basically left Dallas because he wanted to be the man, and he couldn't be the man in Dallas with Luka. And he is the man in New York, and he's a great player. But he's not going to be happy you bring in another star right next to him. Even though he wants to win, I don't think he wants that.
Well, I think Portland has got a great replacement. Portland has got a great replacement in Scoot Henderson, the number 2 pick. But if you want to talk about these New York Knicks, the Knicks have made a reunion for that championship team from Villanova a couple seasons back, man. They picked up Dante DiVincenzo. They've got Jalen Brunson. And then what's that third guy they picked up? I'm pulling it up right now. Go ahead.
Josh Hart.
So they've got all 3 of these guys, championship pedigree, but coaching. When you talk about coaching in New York, it is hard to give the New York Knicks any credibility, even though they made it to the playoffs last year. Talking about their rotation number on the futures today, July the 2nd, 2023. Again, happy 4th of July weekend for all you people out there. Enjoy your 4th of July weekend. But don't blow off your fingers like Jason Pierre-Paul. Don't play with fireworks, people. Don't stop playing with matches. But, yes, talking about these New York Knicks, these guys are on the line. I'm taking a look. Yep, 10-15 is the rotation number. These guys are at plus 5,000. Huge dog on the board. The line makers don't think that these moves have been as strong as they should be. So I think they're really giving a hard time to Thibodeau as a coach, because if you look at the roster that he had last year, top roster, he had a Duke championship team or a Duke pedigree team. Now he's bringing in the guys from Villanova. What do you think is going to have to happen in New York for the Knicks to become respectable? We know the Dolans have owned them for quite some time. I think it's time for these guys to sell the team. It really is. Bigger free agents out there. You're giving Dante DiVincenzo $50 million, and you guys didn't wait for Damian Lillard to at least sniff. And again, I say sniff free agency. Love Josh Hart. Like Jalen Brunson. But Damian Lillard is a top 75 player in the history of the NBA. And if the Knicks keep going out and picking up these mids, man, it's going to be a long report. Looks like they traded Obi Toppin to the Indiana Pacers. Now, this is a guy, again, they took in the first round. The Knicks have been doing this since Ronaldo Bachman. Wasting first-round picks, trading these guys around the NBA. When are they going to sell the team? Talk to me, Ron. Go ahead.
Well, when he's done harassing Charles Oakley up in the stands. I mean, Dolan's this guy is worried about his appearances and who's at his games and how he appears in the news. And it's like, you own a basketball team. You own a pretty famous basketball team that plays in a very famous arena. You know, I mean, it's time to focus. You finally got the core started. Brunson's the player they need. They can build around him. He is that good. He's a dog. He's a great player, man. The guy's, he's got it. But he needs help, you know. And they just need to clean house. Thibodeau.
Got to sell the team. Got to sell the team. It's all coming down from Dolan. Dolan is one of these guys who hires people based on personality. If you get along with Dolan, he doesn't care if the team wins or not. He's worried about who's in the stands. He's locking people out with digital technology, shadow banning people in real life. The Knicks have got to get that team sold. Bottom line, you've wasted a number 1 draft pick in the first round on Obi Toppin, a guy, again, similar to that Ronaldo Bachman stuff. No one ever heard of him. He's athletic, he's dynamic, but then you don't let him play, and then you trade him away to another team where he will probably have success. Rocking with me and Ron, Third Down Best Bets, JB the Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express, talking a little bit of this NBA free agency, talking NBA championship futures. You guys can watch these games over on Fubo TV. Go to FuboTV.com/JB. I'm giving you 15% off. Also, go to my website and check out all that delicious Indian food over at Quickly.com. giving you 15 to 20% off during the entire summer. And then check that deal calendar. We've got great deals every single day on that calendar. So you guys definitely want to check it out. KSHP AM 1400, 107.1 FM. You guys know we're known for the deals. And my show's bringing the same thing to you, hooking you up with pretty much everything that you can think of. Ron, before we take this short commercial break and get back into this NBA free agency and futures for the NBA championship next season, give me a couple shout-outs and then we'll pay a few bills. Go ahead.
First off, I want to wish happy 4th of July to all you brave souls that have dedicated your lives to serving your country, serving your communities, law enforcement, medical, fire services. Thank you all. I hope you all have a wonderful 4th of July. You all earning so much. And, of course, I got to mention our super fan, Kayla. Good morning, and thank you for listening.
Thank you guys so much for listening. Again, you guys are rocking with the Ball to the Big Board. Go to my website, VegasScoreboardExpress.com. That's the best way to get me. Can't really give you any assurances that you'll find me on the social media websites. A lot of shadow banning, a lot of hating. Never going to talk politics on my show. I have no interest. I'm not going to push your agenda. I'm only going to push cash in the pockets of the listeners and the people who wake up early in the morning every Saturday and Sunday, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. right here on KSHP 107.1 FM at AM 1400. So when I get back from this short commercial break, me and Ron are going to keep breaking down this NBA for you. Keep it locked. Subscribe, comment, like the show, and get the money.
You're listening to the boss of the big board, JB the Tech Ad.
The best choice for convenience, comfort, and value, My Place hotels are ideal for both short-term and long-term travelers. The rooms at My Place features pillow-top mattresses, microfiber bedding, and a variety of soft and firm pillows. All extended stay rooms offer their own kitchen, which includes a full-size refrigerator and a cooktop. On-site laundry facilities are also available for extended stays at pet-friendly My Place hotels. Book your stays online at myplacehotels.com. My Place Hotels, St. George and West Jordan, Utah. Make My Place your place.
Basketball season is heating up, so stay in the game with Fubo TV. Get the NBA, NCAA, FIBA, and more. Get 7 days free at VegasScoreboardExpress.com. Don't get cabled. Get Fubo TV.
I'm back on the line. Got my main man, Ron Thorntown, Best Bets, back in here with me. Ron, are you on the line? What is going on with all these technical difficulties, man? Can't have it. You know we're not a fan of that. Oh, man. Jumping back into this NBA free agency. Again, you guys are rocking with the Balls to the Big Board. JB the Ticket and Vegas Scoreboard Express live here on KSHP 107.1 FM. That's how you know it's live and not recorded, because we keep having these technical difficulties, all this heat burning through the wires and stuff. But hopefully we're going to put some cash in your pocket so that can burn a hole in your pocket. Talking about the Lakers. They reached a deal with their swingman, Austin Reeves. This guy was balling out last year. Don't want to take anything away from him. Kept him on the team. I think they kept D'Angelo Russell as well. So when you talk about this Lakers team with LeBron being so long in the tooth, Anthony Davis not being able to stay healthy, are they going to go more to this five-guard attack that we've been seeing across the NBA? That's what the problem that the Miami Heat had in the finals. They didn't have enough size. Talking about the Lakers here, focusing on more of that guard play, don't really have a dominant big man in their future. What do you think this is going to be going into the next season for the Lakers? And while you're talking about it, I'm going to pull up their rotation number and their futures. I got it right here. Rotation number 1005, LA Lakers, plus 1,200 for that NBA championship future. So with LeBron trying to possibly finish out his career in LA, maybe get traded out one more time, know he's waiting on his son Bronny to try to get to the NBA, and I say try because nothing is guaranteed. But in relationship to the Lakers, their early free agency moves, what do you think about them? Go ahead.
I like what they've done. The core, I mean, after the trade deadline, the Lakers were a good team last year. In the playoffs, Denver swept them. Every game was close. The problem is, you just said it. They don't have a legit big man, and they tried to guard Jokic with Anthony Davis, and that's not going to work. And it ain't going to work this year. So if they run into Denver in the Western Finals, they're going home again. But they got a very good team, and they played really well. Jared Vanderbilt came over. He really helped. I was kind of surprised they brought D'Angelo Russell back. Not that he didn't do well. It just seemed like in the playoffs he kind of fell out of the rotation a little bit. So I mean, he's a good player, but he just seemed to kind of disappear in the playoffs. I mean, they added Gabe Vincent. He was good in the playoffs for the Heat. Didn't really do much in the regular season, I thought. But I think the Lakers they're a legitimate shot. I think people should take a flyer on Golden State, I think, if they got some good numbers, because bringing Draymond back, and I didn't realize the issues. I just read an article yesterday. Apparently, Jordan Poole was pretty much tearing the team apart. I didn't realize that. He was
Isn't that what D'Angelo Russell and Jordan Clarkson did to the Lakers about 10 seasons ago? But just a reminder, go ahead.
D'Angelo, yeah, when he talked about Nick Young and the private affairs, send out to Minnesota real quick. So. But he's matured, and he understands what he did, So from what I've been told, he understands that's not what you do, and he's grown up from that. But Golden State's going to be a sneaky team. I got a feeling they might have a quick one more run in them. I mean, Steph was real. I said no at the end of the season myself, but I just like what they're doing. I really do. I think they're a closet favorite. I really do.
That's so funny you said they're a closet favorite up in San Francisco.
One more chance.
Go ahead.
There's a secret chance there. I don't really think they're a favorite or nothing, but if they stay healthy and if they keep it going, they could really create some problems in the playoffs.
Here's my thing with the Golden State Warriors. Their head coach, Steve Kerr, he looks bored. He wants to go home. The internal team drama, he went through it with the Bulls. Now he's going through it with the head coaching of his own team. I just don't think that he wants to keep coaching. And especially,
they traded away the drama, so we'll see what happens.
Oh, man. You can't trade away boredom. Don't be surprised if Steve Kerr finishes out. Because, I mean, if they're winning again, I just don't really understand this whole fascination with the Golden State Warriors. Every single team plays like them now. And they don't really dominate, okay? Klay Thompson, injuries have more or less sidelined his career, so you're not going to see as much from him. 55 points in one corner, shooting 19 threes and stuff like that. It's over. So a guy that we thought's career was over, jumping into another team in the Western Conference, the Houston Rockets. They picked up Dillon Brooks, the thorn in LeBron's side this playoffs, from the Memphis Grizzlies. They picked him up. $80 million, 4 years. Houston Rockets. Do you think that Dillon Brooks is really that valuable? He didn't do jack diddly squat for those Memphis Grizzlies. And the Los Angeles Lakers were able to put him out of the playoffs. Go ahead.
No, I think they overpaid for him personally. There was a lot of overpayments in this free agent run. I mean, it's just like we talked about Jeremy Grant in Portland. Not to go back to the Dame Lillard situation, that's what bugs me is that they drafted Scoot Henderson with the number 3 pick.
Mm-hmm. Number 2. Go ahead.
No, it was actually 3. Yeah, it was 3.
Oh, it was
Charlotte
3?
Took,
okay.
Charlotte took Miller with number 2.
That's fine. That's fine. Go ahead.
And everybody was happy. And then all of a sudden free agency starts, I want out. And I'd really like to know how it came to this. It's been brewing for years. Everybody's been very cordial on both sides, but was there a demand made before the draft?
I told you, Portland as a city is falling apart. It's falling apart.
I'm wondering between him and manager because the timing in this is very unique.
Yeah.
I mean, they're stuck with Jeremy Grant now with a huge contract. He's a number 3 piece, and Dave Lillard leaves town. They're stuck.
Yeah. Well.
So I'm wondering if this was planned. I'm curious because we look at sports different. That's why I'm bringing this up.
Mm-hmm,
That's the angle I'm looking at because I find the timing is very unique because this has been in the works for years and everybody knows that. And all of a sudden, we draft the guy, we don't trade the pick and get a free agent that I want out.
Well,
and I wonder what changed his persona and his attitude because he's worked with the team. He's been very patient. So I'm curious in the scenes. I'm going to do some research. I want to find out what brought this to a head.
Well, I'll tell you what else is going to come to a head. Damian Lillard looks like, again, they're making moves in Miami. Just traded away Victor Oladipo to the Heat. Oladipo was hurt last season. Just dumped that contract. Guaranteed to see Damian Lillard playing for the Miami Heat. I think it is a done deal. But, Ron, we're going to finish up this NBA free agency talk and jump into some baseball with Scotty Beamer-Webb. Thank you for stopping by the big board today. Any final shout-outs? And then we'll jump into this baseball after this short commercial break. Go ahead.
You got to mention Ross Hamilton and his documentary, his GoFundMe account. Let's get that going. Get him some help there. And I want to mention the American Cancer Society. We need your help. Time, anything. Money, blood, spots, care. Please, anything you can do. Too many good people are dying. We need to stop this.
Ron, third down, best bets, giving you guys the grease and the shout-outs. Again, JB, the Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express, 107.1 FM. When I get back from this short commercial break, going to be bringing in my main man, Scotty, beam him up with those baseball picks this Sunday to put some cash in your pocket. So you guys keep it locked. Stay tuned. Follow the show on all of your favorite podcast applications, Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, you name it. We are there. You name it. And then happy 4th of July weekend to all you folks out there. Stay safe. Don't blow off your fingers. Go to a professional fireworks show. But even if you do that, bring an umbrella in just in case they do it the wrong way. JB, the Ticket, and Vegas Scoreboard Express. When I get back, we're giving you more grease, more money. So let's get it.
You're listening to the boss of the big board, JB the Ticket. Vegas Scoreboard Express. Giving you that grease.
The Klondike Casino is a friendly local spot that features their signature restaurant, the Klondike Grill, serving up fresh food fast. Open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner just off the 95 freeway on Sunset Road in Henderson. You will find the Klondike Casino, featuring all your favorite games from the Strip in the comfort of a neighborhood casino. You can place a bet at their full-service sports book, or start your day with a breakfast plate that comes with your choice of potato and toast. Or check us out for lunch or dinner and try one of our many sandwiches, like the popular beer-battered fish sandwich or the Philly cheesesteak. Check out the full menu at KlondikeSunset.com.
More fire, more heat.
You're listening to the boss of the big board, JB the Ticket. Giving you that grease. Vegas Scoreboard Express.
Always spitting that explosive fire.
Back at you live, JB the Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express, KSHP AM 1400, 107.1 FM. Got my main man Scotty, beam him up web from MLBDaily.com and the East Coast Sports Investor. Scotty, good morning to you. Welcome to the big board.
Yes, sir, JB. Great to be here. Great to be back on this Sunday with you.
Yes, baseball is on deck. You guys can get these games over on Fubo TV. Go to FuboTV.com/JB, giving you 15% off to get you where you want to be. Again, happy 4th of July weekend to all you folks out there listening. Thank you so much for stopping by the big board today. It's time to get into the money. Time to put it in your pocket. Let's talk about it a little bit yesterday in Major League Baseball. Now, we were seeing some games that were on the line. Very, very good games. We took a look at your Tampa Bay Rays yesterday. You guys were able to actually get the over. We took the over. We were just a little bit worried about the Rays on the road yesterday versus Seattle, and it turned out to be the case. Tampa Bay yesterday, rotation number 919, losing on the road in Seattle to rotation number 920, the Seattle Mariners. So let's talk about that game a little bit, because I didn't see the offensive firepower from Tampa Bay, but I figured that cross-country trip could cost them, but luckily we were able to get the over. But what did you see from that game yesterday? And then we'll do a few more recaps and jump into the action today. Go ahead.
Well, I think Tampa Bay is a team that has proven themselves to be a solid, legitimate, World Series kind of contender, AL pennant winner anyway. So as they're going, when you play Seattle, one of the things that you run into is they got great quality starting pitching. So every time out, every time they play, they're going to have to score runs and hit and do some different things to beat that team. And I would tell you that, the game started off halfway decent. Glass now pitched okay, but he wasn't as good as Kirby. And Kirby's one of these young kids that I think is going to end up being the best pitcher on that team for Seattle. And if he can get good command where he can get strikeouts, I think he'll be one of the premium pitchers in all of baseball. So he's really young, and I think that you might see a different side of Tampa Bay today.
And again, you guys are listening to Scotty Beam 'em Up Webb, East Coast Sports Investors, MLBDaily.com. Let's take a look at the line today, talking about these Tampa Bay Rays rotation number 969. These guys are still in Seattle, bringing Bradley on the mound today. Rotation number 970. The Seattle Mariners are starting Castillo. Tampa Bay plus 115 on the money line. Still have a big total at 7.5 runs. Do you think that they're going to be leaving the bats home today on the Seattle side? Do you think Tampa Bay can get inside of that plus 1.5 on the run line? Go ahead.
Well, Taj Bradley's pitching for the Rays, and Taj Bradley's one of these young kids that one of what they do in Tampa Bay, just keep bringing up good pitcher after good pitcher, and he's one of those guys. Now, he hasn't had the best of premium starts the whole season, and his last time out was the worst one he's ever had. So typically, when a pitcher does that, they come back and they pitch pretty well off of that start. And, you looked at Seattle yesterday. Seattle played pretty well. You would think that maybe they leave their bats in the rack a little bit, because typically baseball is kind of that way. Once you score some runs, the next day you don't quite score as many for the most part. And you've got a matchup where Bradley is what I call ripe for a good game, and the offense for Seattle is ripe for a regression. So a lot of times that just favors either. You can play either way. You can play the Rays as a small dog. That would make sense, but you're facing Castillo, who's a good pitcher, so maybe he holds them back a little bit. Or you could play Seattle under their team total number. So you can look at this in a lot of different ways, but I would think that in that particular matchup today, the way I would go with it is I would ride with Tampa Bay and see if they can get their bats going and scratch out a win here as a small dog.
Scotty Beam 'em Up Webb, East Coast Sports Investors, MLBDaily.com. Let's jump into another one of the games today. Jumping into the line for July 2nd. Another game yesterday that was very, very surprising to me. It seems like two evenly matched teams. The Minnesota Twins at 500, 42-42, 19-23 on the road yesterday, getting the 1-0 win over Baltimore. They're back at it today at 12:05 Eastern, 9:05 a.m. That's why you got to get up early here with JB the Ticket, giving you these early games. Baltimore, rotation number 962. The Orioles, very, very surprising in their division, 48-33. Very good home record. I think that they have Irvin on the mound today, going up against Sonny Gray versus the Twins. Where do you see this one going? Go ahead.
I think this is one of those interesting matchups because, you got a division leader in Minnesota, but really they got the same record as what Baltimore does, or even worse record than Baltimore. But I don't see Baltimore as that team that everybody else does. So a lot of teams, a lot of people like Baltimore as, they're the second best team in the East right now. I think at the end of the season they're going to be the third or the fourth best team in the East. And I think that you're looking at a team like that. You've got Irvin on the mound, and he came over in a trade from the off season from the Oakland A's, and he got hurt, so he hasn't pitched a lot. He's a left-handed guy, and Minnesota's throwing one of their best pitchers today, Sonny Gray. Now Sonny Gray's been a little bit off over his last few starts, but I think what you look at here is both of these pitchers can get hit a little bit today, and their offenses haven't been good the last few days. And I think you want to look at an over in this game. I mean, I know the number's 9, but both of these teams have had limited success on offense for the first two games of these series. I would expect them to both kind of wake up here a little bit. And Gray not at his best, and Irvin in a spot where he can get hit. I would suspect that both of these teams will hit.
Now let's talk about another game on the line today. This one's at 2:10 p.m. Eastern Time. Rotation number 971. That's going to be 11 in the morning here on the West Coast. The Dodgers got Gonsolin on the mound today. 46-36 is their total record, going up against rotation number 972, the Kansas City Royals, one of the worst teams in baseball right now. at 24-59, a little bit better than the Oakland A's. But you got Kansas City today plus 183 on the money line. So when you're talking about a team like the Kansas City Royals, who if they can get something going, they got Singer on the mound today. I'm looking at the lines. Dodgers minus 200, a little bit expensive, and they've got an expensive run line, minus 130 at minus 1.5. Is Kansas City that bad, or do you think that with this total being 10, the Dodgers are that good? Go ahead.
Well, I think what you're looking at is that Kansas City is that bad. I mean, Kansas City at home this year is I think they've won 12 games out of and lost 31 or something like that. So they're 20 games under 500 at home.
Wow.
So that teams don't do that, and you know that's not a good thing for them. And what I would tell you is that, you know, if I had to stack up Oakland and I had to stack up Kansas City and match them up, I would take Oakland over Kansas City as a better team, just because Kansas City is just, they're just kind of lost in their mental and everything. And Oakland at least has got a plan of what they're doing. They're playing all these young kids, trying to develop people doing stuff. And Oakland and Kansas City just think they have good players. So in this particular matchup, I guess the best way that I would tell you is, you know, if the Dodgers just kind of sleepwalk through this, which I think they have been over the playing. I mean, they lost the other day against this team. So you know, if they sleepwalk through Kansas City, you know, then, and Gonsolin's not one of these guys that goes out there and strikes everybody out. He relies on his defense some. You know, then it can be a fairly competitive team. But if the Dodgers are one of these, you know, awake, they'll rough up Singer and they'll beat him up pretty good. So, you know, at worst bet here, I would take the Dodgers on the run line.
Telling you to take the Dodgers on the run line, rotation number 971. Talking to Scotty Beam 'em Up Webb from the East Coast Sports Investors and MLBDaily.com. When we get back from this short commercial break, more baseball picks this 4th of July weekend. Scotty, any shout-outs from Florida down there you want to get here in Vegas and around the world? And we'll take this break. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to make sure everybody knows that, you know, the All-Star break for baseball is coming up next weekend. But there's sort of a mini World Series getting ready to happen. At the end of this week, the Atlanta Braves are going to play a series against the Tampa Bay Rays. So I think that'll be an interesting matchup, and it'll be a fun one to watch.
Scotty Beam 'em Up Webb always giving you that pre-grease when we get back from this short commercial break. Going to finish out the show with some more picks. You guys keep it locked. Follow him on social media at Webby20MLB and check out his website, www.mlb-daily.com for all of your baseball news. So he'll be back with us. Scotty, stay on the line. And when I come back from this short commercial break, we're sending you guys over to the book and to enjoy your barbecues this 4th of July weekend, 2023. Let's get the money.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball, JP the Ticket. Hey. Giving you that grease.
This football season, stay in the game with Fubo TV. Over 100 live channels, including NFL Network, NBA TV, and FS1. Don't miss any of the action. Get 7 days free on us at VegasScoreboardExpress.com. Don't get cabled. Get Fubo TV.
JB the Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express, back at you live. Got my main man, Scotty Beam 'em Up Webb, East Coast Sports Investors and MLBDaily.com. Getting ready to give you some more of these baseball picks. Scotty, you're still in line with me. Go ahead.
I am, sir. I am right here on a Sunday waiting to go.
Fantastic. Again, you guys can check him out on the social medias at Webby20MLB, and be sure to go to his website, MLB-daily.com. Talking about another game on the line today. Big game out in St. Louis. The Yankees are coming to town. Rotation number 973. The New York Yankees got Garrett Cole on the mound today. Plus 145 on that minus 1.5 run line. Even money on the money line going up against the St. Louis Cardinals, 974. They've got Montgomery, left-hander, plus 1.5, minus 165 on their run line. So you're not getting very, very much value if they keep it close. And then that money line is even. So I'm taking a look at this total here, a solid 8. If you're talking about it from that perspective, do you think it's a total or a first 5-inning type game? Because you're looking at the totals in the first 5 innings, over, under 3, 3.5. Some places it's 4. Go ahead.
Well, Jordan Montgomery used to pitch for the Yankees, and he got traded to the Cardinals in that deal with Harrison Bader. So this will be his second opportunity to pitch against the Yankees since he's been traded. He did get a chance to pitch against them the first year he was traded over there. Jordan has been not so good as of late. Well, I shouldn't say it that way. He was poor. He was great, then he was bad, and now he's great again. So he's pitching really good, but he's a different pitcher than Cole. Cole obviously is a hard thrower, big fastball guy, big strikeout guy. Montgomery gets his strikeouts, but he's a lefty. And I think what you're going to run into here is this will be a lower scoring kind of game. I think Cole's going to be good because he doesn't see those guys in St. Louis that often. I think Montgomery will be motivated to have a good game. So, and the Yankees' offense hasn't been that great. So I kind of think this will be an under.
Talking about that total right now of 8. He's telling you go under. Moving along to another matchup today that a lot of people have been interested in. The Detroit Tigers, rotation number 977, going out to Colorado. All my fans out in Colorado, thank you so much for listening each and every weekend. Rockies not doing so well this year at 33-52. So, again, this is 2 bottom feeders. Looks like a little bit of value could be on the line today with this one. Talk to me about it. You got minus 106 for the Tigers at rotation number 977. 978, 104 is the minus on the money line for the Rockies, who are bringing out Seabold, and, of course, the Tigers with Manning. Talk to me about what you see in that game. Go ahead.
Well, this one's interesting in a sense that Matt Manning is making his second start off of the injured reserve. So his first time out was pretty good. I would suspect that it won't be quite that good for him today. They don't typically, when they come off the injured reserve, go out and pitch like they did before they went there. So, and he wasn't that good to begin with. So he's struggled a little bit this year. And Seabold has started off pretty well for Colorado, and obviously it's hard to pitch out there, and those pitchers are getting hit up pretty good. But I think there's a definite advantage to Colorado today in a sense that you've got the pitcher that's pretty familiar with pitching in Colorado and pitching at home against the guy that is not as familiar with that and coming off the injured reserve. So I would say that you have a pretty good shot with Colorado here.
Talking about the Colorado Rockies, telling you take rotation number 978. Might as well go money line. It is an even money line. They are a dog that is barking. Jumping into another game today, out west, the Arizona Cardinals, rotation number 979, going out to see the Angels, rotation number 980. Angels plus 100 on the money line today. They got Reed Detmers going up against Zach Gallen for the Arizona Diamondbacks. So when you look at this game, the matchup, I'm seeing value at the total, 8.5. I'm thinking about going under. Go ahead.
Well, Zach Gallen's one of the best pitchers in Major League Baseball, and what people don't, I think, know is that Reed Detmers, over his last month or so, has pitched better than Zach Gallen. So he's pitched very, very well, and he's pitched he's been every bit as good as Shohei Ohtani has been for the Angels.
Right.
So the question becomes is, can he sustain that? And, Arizona has won 2 of those games already against the Angels. So I tend to think that what you're going to see is this would be a good home underdog kind of bet. I think I would take the Angels here.
Taking the Angels, yes. Love that dog bet. Go ahead.
I would stay off of the total just in a sense that it's possible that one of those guys gets blown up. They haven't had a blown up kind of game in a little bit. So, and both of these teams have offenses that can do that. So I would think that you're better off to go against Gallen. Now, Gallen if you bet against him at home, you're crazy. But if you bet against him on the road, I think you got a really good chance to beat him because he's a really dominant pitcher in Arizona, not as much on the road. So I think this is a sweetheart play for LA.
Talking about the LA Angels, telling you right now, take them at home in the money line. Rotation number 980 plus 108 is where you're going to be able to get the money. Scotty Beam 'em up Webb from the East Coast Sports Investor. Scotty, we're getting ready to finish up the show with you. Got about 3 minutes left. We're going to just rock a little bit of jams. Again, you guys can check out our producers, Freet, Van Workham, The Passion Hi-Fi. Appreciate all that you put together for us here, Vegas Scoreboard Express. Letting us use your music. But now let's get back into a couple more of these games. I'm looking at the value for this 4th of July weekend. Don't see anything on the line over 200 on the money line except for this early game. Rotation number 955, the Washington Nationals starting Williams today, plus 200 on the money line going up against the Philadelphia Phillies. Rotation number 956, Philadelphia on the run line, minus 125 at 1.5. So they got to win by 2. And when you talk about this Nationals team that hasn't been that great, where do you see this possibly going in today? Go ahead.
Well, it's hard because the Phillies lost to this team 2-1 the other night, so neither team scored. And then yesterday they got on and scored 19 runs yesterday. So
right.
So do you expect them to score 2 runs or 19 runs today? Well, the truth of the matter here is I will play Philadelphia on the run line because the Washington Nationals, not only are they not good on the road, against left-handed pitching, they are 9 wins and 22 losses. So they're 9-22 against left-handed pitching. So, and you got a pretty good lefty on the mound for Philadelphia today. So I kind of like the idea that Philadelphia, they won't score 19 runs, but I think that they'll beat up Williams a little bit.
There you go, talking about Suarez for the Philadelphia Phillies. He's telling you take them on the run line, rotation number 956. And then to round out the show, Scotty, we got about a minute left. Your favorite team, you just mentioned them before the commercial break. They're at home today versus the Miami Marlins, rotation number 952, the Atlanta Braves. Marlins, rotation number 951. Looks like Miami's going back with Alcantara, and the Atlanta Braves are starting Strider. Talk to me about this game because Atlanta has been smoking. These guys are 55-27, one of the best teams in baseball. You're saying this could be a preview of the World Series coming up this week. But give me about 30 seconds, and then we'll get out of here. Let's make this pick. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think the Braves are the best team in Major League Baseball, but Strider's a big strikeout guy, and Alcantara was the Cy Young winner last year. Neither one have been pitching that great right now. Take the over.
Take the over 8.5. Scotty Beam 'em up Webb from the East Coast Sports Investors, MLBDaily.com. Thank you so much for stopping by. Any final shout-outs, and then we're going to sign off. About 10 seconds. Go ahead.
Yeah, everybody have a safe 4th of July. I'll be out there running around with fireworks and looking around, too. So just keep your fingers and toes, and everybody have fun.
You know what time it is. JB the Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express. Enjoy your 4th of July weekend.
This radio shopping show, weekday from 1400 KSHP North Las Vegas and KSHP.com.